Hey, all right. I guess. I guess we're live. What it do? What it do with you? Hmm? What it do with you? Meditate on you, dick. Wow. So rare, kind of starting the day with Highdeology stream. So I may be angrier and saltier than even usual. Oh my goodness. What it do? What it do? What it do? Hello, hello, hello. Crypto Merch Club. Holy smokes. Has Andy Dick killed himself yet? I hope not. I hope he didn't. But he definitely did not look like he was in a good place. It's 2 p.m. here. Where are you that you're starting your day now? I uh I have a different kind of schedule than most people do. So I'm up well after most people go to bed, and I sleep in a little later than most people do. Andy Dick is a national treasure. I don't know if he's a national treasure, but how many beanies do I have? I have a bunch. Probably like 5 or 6 different beanies. Dude, you missed the stream last night, unfortunately. It was late as fuck. That shit was hilarious, though. Yeah, it was fun. It were fun. Oh, man. You look happy and rested, Paul. I don't feel very happy or rested, but whatever. If you alternate between winking each eye, does it count as a blink? I think so. I think you could accomplish the same thing that blinking accomplishes by just alternately winking each eye. But I don't know. No notification. Yeah, I know. That's the way that YouTube works now. When you go live, it sometimes just doesn't publish that fact to the people that follow you. Or it does it over the course of multiple minutes. Um, so, yeah, it takes sometimes like 10 minutes for people to get fucking notifications. How do you feel about Brett Keane reviews of Deep Fat Fried podcast? I've never seen any of them, so I can't tell you how I feel about them. It did get mildly depressing near the end, though. Mad World for real. Yeah, there was a couple of times while we were watching it before we started that stream where I was just like, "Oh, man, this is incredibly sad." But then he would start telling somebody to suck his dick. You know what I mean? So it was like it was a roller coaster of emotion. Probably the greatest stream Andy Dick will ever do. The only great thing that Andy Dick will ever do. Oh. Do you think that was his crack hoe on the mattress? It could have been. Could have been like a crack hoe. It could have been his son, like sleeping at his place. Paul, what's your IQ? Dude, at least like 160. At least like 160. It's extremely high. I have an extremely high IQ. Okay. I don't think like the rest of you normal people. Okay. I have a greater understanding of the world around me. than you normal people. Extremely high. Fuck me till I die. Okay. Get on over here. Let's do it. Let the guests talk, Paul. Sorry about that. All right, thanks, Dinor, for chiming in. Appreciate that, buddy. You don't have a high IQ, Paul. Bet you can't even name 6 episodes of Rick and Morty. Psh. Rick and Morty, that's like 120 IQ shit. I'm above that. I'm at a level of IQ where Rick and Morty is like completely stupid, empty entertainment for me because the concepts that it presents, while deep and meaningful to people of a lower 120 range IQ, to a person with a 160 IQ like me, like those shows are just absolutely boring. They cover concepts that I consider to be, kindergarten basics with my giant 160 IQ. What do you think of Bernie 2020? His IQ's not high enough. So no Bernie. Sorry. We need a high IQ president, and Bernie's IQ is nowhere near high enough. Wasn't the highest measured IQ some Korean dude with 220? I don't know. That's sounds like it could happen. Paul, you look like a male version of Betty Davis. Cool. I've got Betty Davis eyes. You have a 127 IQ. Whatever. You're full of shit. There should be a separate internet for people under 20. Yeah, that would be kind of good, actually. If we could just like segment out the internet and let the teenagers have their own internet and not let them play in the big pool until they're 20 or 21, I think that would improve the internet markedly. Like until, all the way up through their 18, they should be able to get like, shit kids are into, like Barney and Sesame Street and, whatever. And that's all they can search. That's all the kids can search. It's all the way up till 18, 19. They can find some Barney. They can find some, I don't know, fucking Philip DeFranco, I guess. They can watch him, but only him on YouTube. Dinor, you're going to have to be quiet, bud. Like, you're going to have to find it within yourself to be totally fucking quiet. Problem is you have people over 20 acting like 15-year-olds. Yeah, but I mean, there's less of them than actual 15-year-olds. And maybe without 15-year-olds infesting every corner and pocket of the internet, people that are 20 will stop talking like 15-year-olds and acting and reacting like 15-year-olds. Maybe we can kill it off in a generation or two, Just put teenagers in their own, I'm quite literally insane age group, for the internet. Keep it segmented. I like the idea. What about 15-year-olds that act like 20-year-olds? Well, if they're those types of 15-year-olds, then they can bluff their way past the system, They'll be smart and adult enough to figure out how to get onto the adult internet, and it won't be a problem. On a lighter note, imagine a little kid being molested in front of his parents. How's that a lighter note? That's the opposite of a lighter note. Yeah, man, you cleared the chat for a couple of fucking seconds with that shit. Get out of here. Get out of here. I really liked your Andy Dick stream. That was fun. Probably not advisable to do because it didn't end until like 6 a.m. or so. But whatever, it had to happen. I was too invested at that point. I was like, well, I guess if Andy Dick is just goes on a 24-hour drug fueled bender on Periscope and Twitch, I'll be dedicating my life to that for the next day because I'm in it. I'm in it to win it at this point. Andy sounded like he was on Ambien or some shit. Like I was trying, he was clearly drunk. There was one moment of the fucking stream where because I think he might like be supposed to be clean from drinking or whatever, and he was at one point doing something. He was trying to fix some shit. He's like, I can't do this. Oh, what the fuck ever. I'm drunk. I'm not drunk. I'm high on marijuana. So I think there's somebody that's because he was very clearly drunk. Like I've been around enough drunk people to I mean he might have been on some other shit too, but there was definitely quite a bit of alcohol involved. I dug Andy's line about Brad Noel being the Billie Holiday of the punk scene. Yeah, he was talking about like how he like at one point he told this incoherent story about how he was supposed to be the lead singer of Sublime or something like that, or how he was involved in making Sublime popular or some shit. I can't. It's like. You think it's because of his sexual allegations that he's been hitting the sauce? I mean, that probably has a big influence on him right now. Like we're talking about it a little last night, but you got to imagine that like Andy Dick already wasn't getting all that much work. So this idea that he's like super rich and shit, that means that you think that Andy Dick was a good steward of his money when he was making a lot of money. And to me, that just implies you don't know the person we're talking about. Like Andy probably has not a whole lot of funds, and since the allegations of his inappropriate touching and advances and shit came out, he's probably finding it very hard to get work of any kind. And he's probably hitting the sauce and several other substances to deal with that. You don't know dick about dick. Yep. I bet Andy Dick drunk while at Universal Studios Hollywood. I believe it. It sounds like it might have happened. Andy has been in and out of rehab for decades. Yep. He also has like this real, I don't know, like pattern of building relationships and then burning them down with his crazy drug fueled antics. Like he used to have a pretty good in at the Howard Stern show, which, you know, as a comedian, a person that works in movies and television, having that place to go where you can just talk to millions and millions of people, that's a pretty rare thing. And he managed to fuck that up. He had a show on Howard's channels. He had his own like little Andy Dick show on Howard's channels for a while. He just fucked up. But yeah, he says something like, I want to say something to all you deep fat froth. I can't remember how he said it. He fucked it up. But whatever. You deep fried fat fans. Brett's reviewing DFF episodes. Good for him. He said deep fat fried. Do a DFF on traps, Paul. I mean, we might. There's also a story where a comedian slammed Andy's head into a bar table a bunch of times because Andy insulted the dude's friend who had just died indirectly because of Andy. I believe it. There's all kinds of crazy stories about Andy Dick. All kinds of rumors and shit. Oh yeah, sorry about the keyboard clickety clack and shit last night. I set that shit up so quick that I'm not even sure that we were going through the right mic and stuff. That might have been like my webcam mic you guys were hearing us through, which is terrible. But I had to get it going quick because who knows? Paul, I hurt my pelvic floor muscle and now it hurts to orgasm. That sucks, dude. How did you hurt your pelvic floor muscles? How, dude? How do you do that? How do you strain your pelvic floor? Were you like, I don't know. On an unrelated note, I'm still a bit taken aback by the fact that people born on the year 2000 will be able to get into porn, and next year there's going to be people who were born on 9/11 in porn. That is kind of fucking weird, isn't it? You know, I found that as I get older, um, like the strong memories that I have, the memories where I can still remember like very, very strong detail about the day, they seem less there. It seems like there's less distance between them and now and not more as time goes on. It's a weird feeling, but I don't have a whole lot of memories left from younger years of my life, but the ones that I do have, it's always weird to hear the amount of time that's passed because it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like that time has passed. But yeah, 9/11, people born on 9/11 can get into porn next year. Dun dun dun. That's fucking crazy. Could you stop chirping? Please? Could you be quiet? Oh. It's weird to think that kids born in the year 2000 have probably been watching scat porn for 10 years now. That's true too. Like that's another thing that I don't really think about. Like for me when I was a kid, getting porn was not easy. It was a hard thing to do and it was probably easier for me than it was for people in previous generations, but you had to sneak around and like there were magazines. That was the main way that, you could get porn. It's just a hard thing to get your hands on porn. It's like now kids have every piece of pornography in the world at their fingertips. Like parents that think that their net nanny is blocking their kid, like their kids know how to get around those things. They know how to do Google searches and find their way around net nannies and stuff. So they've got everything. You know what, dude? I'm gonna pick you guys up and take you guys into the backyard because I feel stuffy in here, dude. I feel stuffy in here, so we're gonna go sit in the backyard outside in the sunlight for a little while. The gut, you guys like that shit? Let's go to the backyard and sit on the table. It's not super cold out here today, so that's nice. It's pretty nice. That's cool. That's not a bad background for these little daytime streams. An old oak. Oh, god damn it. I've not seen trees in months. Like, are you living in the Middle East or something? You living in Iraq where there are no trees? Wonder how old that tree is. It's probably pretty old. It's a pretty big tree. Especially the one behind it. That tree back there is actually in a neighbor's yard, and it is impressively huge. But there's a lot of those around Louisiana with the Spanish moss and shit. Is it warm? It is not warm, but it's not like 33 degrees like it was yesterday. Yesterday it was like, I think our high yesterday was like 40. I think it feels like it's about 50, 55 here today, which is, I'm cool with that. He's not really outside, it's just a green screen, yeah. Got me. Yeah, the outdoors. It feels nice out here today. So what am I gonna do? Stay away from the swamp and its apes. Who does the gardening? We don't actually do much gardening at all. The backyard of this place is prone to flooding. When it rains, it's built pretty terribly, and nothing will grow really. Like anything that grows just drowns when it rains. So we've got some old oak trees around us. You should do more outside streams. OMG, it's so much nicer than that old garage. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to do these at night because we have neighbors and stuff. So I can't like sit around and yell outside at night in the backyard, which is a shame. Paul, how do I know you're not two midgets stacked on top of each other? You don't. You're just gonna have to let that bake your noodle. Do you miss Seattle? Yes, I do. Those trees are CGI. Paul is really in outer space. I'm on the space station. That's why I'm okay with the nukes flying, because I know I'm protected because I'm on a space station. Can you play any instruments? I think I remember you saying you were in a band at one point. The band I was in, I just did vocals for. I can't play any instruments to being in a band quality. I played the trumpet when I was younger because my dad is a trumpet player. So when I was in grade school and middle school, I was, you know, whatever, minorly proficient on the trumpet. Ah, the great outdoors. I swear I never broke Paul's trumpet. Yeah, poor Wandale Wotton. He's right. There's a Purge prequel coming out in July. Really? Oh snap, dude! The boys are back in town. Ooh.